Welcome to Be On Profile. Today's October 25th, and we have markets that are higher again this morning after last week's breakout. Let's talk a little bit about the structure of what has happened here over the last couple of months. We've been talking about the balanced trading area that we were in from 1224s down to this 1100 area, and a couple of weeks ago on a Tuesday when we had open lower, we said there's a chance that if this pulls back inside of this, that this would be a failure to go lower and that we would extend out the prior pivot highs. 1224s, here we are, it's trading at 1251s. What happened last week too was we had a stage 3 inside of the larger balance area. You can see where we went sideways, unfair lows and unfair highs. We stayed contained within the candle from Tuesday's trading action. Went lower to test the bottom end of the value area low, and then outside of it, we did on Friday. We closed outside of it. Yesterday we had a strong up day, and you can see, well, what do we have off to the left over here? Not very much, do we? There was actually a technical gap fill yesterday into that 49 level. Otherwise, what do we have? There's a prior breakdown area here through the back side of this, which is right around this 55 area. Looking on the top side, it's not much, is there? When we get back all the way up into this prior balance area here, this is where we're going to find, some supply when we start getting up into here. So when you really start looking at this, 1300s could be easily doable here, another 50 points before we really start hitting a change of polarity here, where this was once an area of demand, should act as an area of supply the first time back into it. And then I know through looking at the composite profiles combined together for the year, that 1300 is the highest volume node up here for the year. So it makes sense that we would rally back, all the way up into that area. Now the question is that we're up, 3 days here. Do we get a pullback to retest this breakout area? Now, when we break a balance area such as we have here, this is a very mature profile. We know that it'll be a very big, directional move in one direction or another. And in this case, obviously, we're getting to the top side. The question becomes do we hit, we're hitting the bottom end of this balance area here, this 55, 54 area. Do we come back down this morning, which is I'm going to look for some sort of a corrective measure, if you will. Come back, maybe retest this week, and then take off, and then head to our 1300 level. Because remember, there's not much in here. The imbalance state is very clean. There's not a lot of supply left in that. We can move right back up to that 1300 level without much problem. So that's that's going to be how we're going to look for this to play out this week. And Tuesday, there's still a lot of earnings coming out. Eurozone news tomorrow on Wednesday as to what they're going to do at their summit. And right now, everybody's happy. It's the happy rule right now, where everything just keeps going up. It doesn't matter what it is. The banks yesterday were sitting at the unfair highs on the daily chart, which means that they're still in balance. If you were to look at a banking sector chart, it looks a lot like the S&P, except cut off these last 3 days where it broke out. All it's done is it's come back to the top of the value area high. So we're going to want to see banks break out of that balance area and give continuation also. Otherwise, you'd look for the banks to fail and rotate back in, which at that point they could do a little P formation or stage 3 here, just like the S&P did when the ES pulls back against this prior breakout area, or the line of supply should now act as new demand in the marketplace. All right. So this morning, like I said, I think we need to look to see if we can stay. We're going to be opening very close to inside of yesterday's value area, a little bit higher maybe here. But other than that, I'd like to see some corrective measures and a pullback, if you will. We can come back all the way down to really 1224 without any harm from these levels, which is 25 points or so, and still pivot and then take off back to 1300s in the next few weeks here. Remember, it only took 2 weeks to go from these 1058s down here up to this 1200. 2 weeks later, you traveled over 100 points. So for us to knock off another, really from here it's only 50 points, right? We could be there by the end of the week if they wanted to. But I still think we're going to build some structure. It would be actually healthy that we would build some structure, coming off of this breakout area here. And then, of course, if we, for some reason, ever got back inside of this, that would be a failure to go higher. We could actually pull back inside of this, okay? Because remember, how big was this move to the downside here? Just to say 1100s, and you went, 20 some points, 25, 30 points. All right, underneath the prior balance area, the unfair low territory here. Here, let me just draw a trend line here. We'll use 1100, and what I'm looking at is the fact that how far did we probe outside of it? How far could we probe outside of it here to get we could, like 50, 60s, right? Where it could still come slamming back through, and it could still be a failure to go higher and pull itself back into the larger time frame structured area here. All right. See, we're getting a pullback right now in the market. We just had news come out, and we're trading lower now. So, we'll look for rotation today. Look for some structure to be built here, and maybe we come back. If Europe doesn't come up with a plan. Maybe we pull back inside of 1224s and go back and work inside of this too. So just have to be ready. Obviously, the first key level here would be the change of polarity area here. Have a good trading day, everyone. We'll see you in the room.